Hey guys, it's ArchieLuxury, and today guys I'm on the Pluta channel doing a paid review. This is a special request. It's a resumption of my series. Actually, where was it? Sorry, what was it? What does this watch say about you? And I made this series years ago, and I haven't really added much to it, but let's jump into this review and try and answer this guy's question. It's paid review 22 QB53 quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing the Rolex Sky Dweller. Hey Arch, I'm back again for more punishment. To remind you, I'm the guy you couldn't talk out of the Aquanaut. I did, however, take your advice and start collecting sports Rolex models. Since our last conversation, I've been able to get 3 Rolexes from different ADs. A Jubilee Pepsi, a Rose Gold Chocolate Oyster Flex Daytona, and a Meteorite Pepsi. No Patek yet, unfortunately. I write this email in hopes of purchasing an old school "What does this watch say about you?" video review for the Pepsi Meteorite. I think that would be a lot of fun. If that's something you'd like to do, I'll send you a PayPal. I appreciate all your heartfelt advice. I know I was hard-headed, but you never led me astray. Best regards, Mark. Now, so he goes on to say, here's, hey there, the follow-up for, oh yeah, no, that was just the thing. Okay, so he sent me a big donation. So what do I think of the Meteorite dial? What does that watch say about its owner? What does it say? The Meteorite GMT. And I got to be honest with you, I had to think hard and long before I made this video. I didn't want to offend anyone or get it taken the wrong way, but I had to really put my hand on my heart and really think, what did I believe this watch says about its owner? And I gotta be completely honest with you. The type of person who buys a Meteorite dial GMT, they're a peacock. They're a show-off. They're a poser. And not in a good way. These are people who really want to impress other people. These are the sort of people who would pay for a "What does your watch say about you" review to get their ego stroked. And I'm really sorry to have to say this, but the sort of person who buys a Meteorite dial GMT is very much a show-off. He's a bit of an asshole, and I'm sorry to have to say this. Generally speaking, the sort of person who buys a Meteorite dial GMT, they're looking for reverse psychology, they're looking for circular logic, they're looking for something that is a kapow. That's right, they want to be able to say, oh, I never seen that dial before, and then they kapow, it's white gold. So the sort of person who goes out of their way to get a Meteorite dial GMT, they are very much, look at me, look at me, look at me. In fact, it's very interesting to note the traditional buyer of the Smurf, that was the white gold Submariner with the blue dial and blue bezel. They were more, hey, I don't want to show off. I don't want it to be yellow gold. I want it to be kind of funky. They're the sort of the innovators to this type of expensive watch. Whereas the Meteorite dial purchaser, well, they're just out to impress their mates who are all Rolex fanboys. So the sort of person who buys the Meteorite dial GMT, they're kind of a show-off. They're loud. They're insecure. They are out of control. And I gotta be totally honest with you. For example, Birdman, Birdman, Marcelo. He presented as a innocent, enthusiast collector, entrepreneur running a restaurant in Japan. But when he had his moment, he stabbed everyone in the back. He booted and scooted. He booted them out. And that's unfortunately the kind of person who buys the Meteorite dial GMT. See, they don't just want to say, hey, what a nice watch. They want the person to realize this is a big money Rolex GMT. Now, the thing is, the Pepsis came out. Then you could get Pepsi in the precious metal. It came with the oyster bracelet. Then they released the the white gold GMT. Then they released the steel GMT with an oyster. Then you had your Meteorite dial. The honest truth is, the sort of person who buys this is very much flex. Look at me, look at me, look at me. They're not buying this watch for themselves. They're buying this watch to impress people they don't like with watches they can't afford. This is basically the way it is. This is a watch for somebody who has some deep-seated psychological need to be superior. And it really pains me to have to say this. It's really the kind of person who buys this. They're the sort of person who would buy an AMG Mercedes, like a C63S. They're the sort of person who would buy an M BMW. They're the sort of person who has got to be, they got to be the center of attention. They got to be the golden light. They're always seeking praise from others. And I got to be totally honest with you. The watch itself is a pretty beautiful watch, but for that same money, there is so much better you could get. If you had a desire for a beautifully large proportion precious metal wristwatch, okay, you may not be a Patek person, but I'd be going Lange. I would seriously be going Lange. And you could go Lange 1 Moon Phase. You could go Langmatic. There's so many decent Langes I'd rather have than this watch. And that's the whole thing. What does this watch say about the buyer or the wearer? It says they care what other people think. They want to be superior. They want to create an impression. To this sort of person here, they're very, very superficial, very, very troubled emotionally and mentally. I gotta be totally honest with you. The buyer for the gold sub, they were just a nasty prick of a person. Whereas the person who bites the Meteorite dial, now this is somebody who really wants to impress a select clientele and a select group of punters. And they really want something that's got that knockout punch. In all honesty, the Meteorite dial GMT, this is the sort of person who I don't understand it, in many ways. Steel is quite a nice metal. They've got to go for white gold. Then the standard precious metal Pepsi wasn't good enough. They want the Meteorite. They want the rare dial. And I gotta be totally honest with you. These are insecure fakers. They're very, very insecure. Very insecure. And it pains me. What do I think of the Jubilee Pepsi? I think that's a stunning watch. Yes, they're a bit of a flash, Harry. Yes, but, you know, as far as it goes, that's a lot of purist charm to it. It's steel. It can be a one and done. It can be a daily wear. It's a beautiful thing. Whereas the solid gold GMT Meteorite dial, that's for somebody who wants their ego stroked. The need to have strokes, to have their ego stroked. And that's what's rather concerning, is the type of people who buy this. They're kind of just very self-centered, narcissistic sons of bitches. So I've got to answer this question. Who buys this sort of watch? Who desires, lusts after it? And they're really nasty fakers. They're not really good friends. These are the sort of people who would stab you in the back if it meant something advantageous for themselves. These are the sort of people you wouldn't trust your wife to stay in the same room with if you weren't in that same room. These are the sort of people who, I gotta be totally honest with you, they'd have no problem collecting debts with a baseball bat. These are some really nasty, heavy-handed people. Ego and greed, that's the two forces that drive this group of buyer. Ego, greed, and lust. Lust, ego, greed, and lust. So, whilst the watch itself can be admired for being a precious metal sports watch, the reality is, what does this watch say about you? It says you're an asshole. That's what it says. It says you are a complete Viking asshole, self-centered, narcissistic, the sort of person who owns a Meteorite dial would pay me to review what does a Meteorite dial say about you. These are narcissistic sons of bitches. In fact, I got another fan slash friend of mine who has a 40 mil day date with a Meteorite dial in platinum, and I got to be totally honest with you, he's a narcissistic, self-centered fake. He can be nice. I do actually like this gentleman, but he can be a bit of a self-centered, narcissistic jerk at times. And I think, to be honest with you, that same narcissistic gene is carried forward in the Meteorite dial GMT. I'm sorry. That's what it says to me. As I had spent days lulling over how do I break the news. There's no point denying it. What does it say about you? It says you're an asshole. You're a jerk. You're self-centered. You're narcissistic. You're greedy. You're just an awful person. And this is. I can't lie. I can't tell a fib. I'm just being completely honest there. I don't know if I'd actually want to wear the watch because it has such nasty connotations. In many ways, it makes my humble sky dweller just appear so pedestrian and just cool. And that's what I like. I like cool, understated. Whereas the Meteorite dial GMT, it's a show pony for posers. People who just don't feel good in their own skin. People who want to have attention, admiration, and respect. And I'm afraid you can't buy respect. It's something that is earned. It's not bought from a Rolex boutique. It's something you earn. So I've got to be totally honest with you. What does this watch say about you? The Rolex Pepsi Meteorite dial. It says you're a jerk. You're an asshole. You're not a good, you're a cad. You are a really competitive sort of person. I'm sorry to say this. I'm sorry. There's nothing good I can say about this owner. They want to show off. This is not for somebody who goes in there and buys their first Rolex. For a start, even if you're able to buy this watch at retail, it is very expensive. So this is not for school teachers. It's not for nurses to buy. This is a watch for someone who's a corporate whore, who knows how to... This is somebody who knows how to make the sausages. You go to the sausage factory, you see how they're made, and they still will eat a hot dog after the tour. This is the sort of person who buys this watch. So I wanted to say flattery things, I wanted to say nice things, but that simply cannot be done. These are vicious, show-off assholes. That's what they are. Vicious, nasty, narcissistic, show-off assholes. That's the sort of watch it is there. And I've got to be totally honest with you. The Oyster Flex in rose gold, that's quite a charming watch. I kind of warm to it compared to the Meteorite dial GMT, because the Meteorite dial GMT, full narcissist, absolute narcissistic, vicious, mean. That's what the watch says. I'm sorry you may not like it, what I'm telling you, but you've asked me for the review. I've thought about it for days. I've been pondering, how do I explain this? And finally, I've popped the cherry and I have made this video, because there's no longer can I hide or deny the vicious, nasty truth. So guys, that's what that watch says about you. It's not very flattery. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel about it. That's for today's paid review. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Don't be afraid to put some comments. Positive or nasty will be fine. Don't forget, guys, to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe and click the bell. Do that for me. And remember, guys, I can't survive on Google Ads. I desperately need more paid reviews so I can survive on YouTube. Please get a paid review, $50 US. Guys, also, you can sponsor me on Patreon. Patreon allows you to pay a couple bucks a month to keep me going full-time on the tubes. Okay, guys, that's the video for today. I will see you later, guys. Hi, guys, it's ArchieLuxury. Guys, I want to talk to you about David SW. David SW. Guys, if you are in America, if you are looking for a Rolex watch of your dreams, in fact, if you're looking for a contemporary modern wristwatch, I strongly advise you to look at David SW. Guys, don't play the dealer games. Don't bring in chocolates or Krispy Kremes for your dealer hoping to get a Rolex at retail. It's futile. Please, guys, save your dignity. Keep some pride. Go to David SW. I would highly recommend David SW. If you're in America and you're looking for a watch, go to David SW. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, and today, guys, I'm very proud to introduce a new sponsor of the ArchieLuxury and the Paul Pluta channels. Who am I talking about? WatchShopping.com, WatchShopping.com. Check them out, guys. Jump online, check out WatchShopping.com. These guys here have been in business since 2017. Worldwide shipping and distribution. Over 10,000 wristwatches in inventory. Stock in hand, and 90 plus different brands, new and pre-owned. Now, the good thing about WatchShopping.com, trusted by over 4,000 reviews on Chrono24 and Trustpilot. Your one-stop shop to buy any watch your heart desires. Please, guys, check out watchshopping.com, watchshopping.com, watchshopping.com. I'm ArchieLuxury, and check out watchshopping.com. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury on the YouTube sensation, the Paul Pluta channel. Guys, I need you to help me out, guys. I can't survive on Google Ads alone. I need you to request a paid review. $50 US. Look down in the description. $50 US. I will review your collection. I'll tell you what I think of it, and I'll give you some pointers. The other thing is, guys, you can sponsor me on Patreon. Patreon allows you to pay a couple bucks a month, $1, $2, $5, whatever you want, and it keeps me going on YouTube because, guys, I'm in a niche. Nobody can make money out of the views I get. The views are crap because it's a small specialized area, and I don't talk about garbage for the sake of views. Guys, sponsor me on Patreon. Look down below, and I will see you in the next one.